Our next guest on the pod is a YouTuber out of LA who is running for his best life. He's the owner of Your Best Life Media, the co-founder of Run for Grace. He has a crazy busy schedule, and he's dealt with so much in his life, from years of child abuse to one shot that took him down a 14-year road of alcoholism. Now he's very involved in his running community, and we're wicked excited to have him on the pod and hear his story. Anthony Bailey, welcome to the On the Runs podcast, buddy. What's up?
Oh my gosh, you said the word wicked. And I was just talking to my wife about that today. I go, here in Los Angeles, we never use the word wicked, except for like going to the show Wicked.
You can easily tell we're not from around there. we are mostly Boston based.
Yeah, I purposely put those in all my intros now. Like maybe the first 90 episodes, I said it like 9 times. Now I try to say it every time. It's like a staple for us.
Mhm.
We are wicked excited to have you on the podcast.
Oh my
Anthony, I'm super pumped, man. How are you?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Eric. It's like hanging out with friends I've been hanging out with that I've been listening to for a few months now. Because now I commute to work and I have to listen to some running podcasts, and you guys came up, and now I feel like I know you guys. So yeah, here we are.
You mentioned you found us like because you're now driving to work. Tell me how you found us, because you told me earlier, and I was wicked excited to hear like that it worked. The algorithm's working.
I get the idea the word wicked's going to come up a lot
Oh yeah,
today.
definitely.
Wait, for sure.
Yeah, so I after taking about a 2-year hiatus from work, and I started my own business, Your Best Life Media, decided to go back to work to get more stability in the whole medical benefits thing that families need.
Important.
And so I said, well, I'm going to be commuting again. Let me start diving back into my podcasts. And I searched running, and you guys came up. And I said, oh, what is this? And I like the whole stoolie thing, and I thought it was gonna be a little different than when I listened to it, but I'm like, no, it's great. It's like two folks that grew up, met each other in college, and just hanging out, talking to running people. I thought it was awesome. So
That's what we were going for.
that's it.
I'm so happy you found us and you like us, and I'm very excited that we get to learn more about you.
Yeah, the power of SEO, huh?
It's working. It's working finally after 100-something episodes. It's working. I mentioned like we've been actually talking to you for months, probably almost a year, and you've been very difficult to schedule. Not you're difficult, but it's been just difficult. I had to postpone and cancel. Then we scheduled you on a Friday at like 10 p.m. for us because you're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Then Erica had to cancel for some reason, an anniversary. But again, where's the ring?
Yeah.
And your schedule is like you have no free nights during
None.
the week. What are you doing at night?
Well, no, actually, the thing is, when I started the job again, I drove a city bus in Culver City. I drove for Santa Monica for 15 years. Back when I left there, I was at the top of the seniority chain, so I had like the schedule I wanted. But when I quit there and I went to Culver City, now I'm back on the bottom. And in the transit industry, when you start there, you pretty much they call it part time, but it's actually not part time. You work 6-7 days a week whenever they need you until you get promoted to full time. So they only give me Tuesdays off. So my day is, I pretty much get my schedule day to day right now.
Oh.
And so this is the season of my life for the next, hopefully the next 6 months, and I'll get promoted and get a regular schedule. But thank you for being so patient with me.
Oh, and thank you for being patient with us and
Right.
Erica's anniversaries and everything.
It only
Terrible
happens once a
excuse,
year,
by the
man.
way. I hope you guys did something nice. What'd you guys do that day anyway?
Oh, we went to a nice dinner. We went out and we got a little fancy. I mean, I'm not a fancy person at all. I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. Like you can see, I'm kind of like more on the casual side. But we actually got dressed up. We went out for a nice. We went for Thai food. It was delicious. So just spending time together. It was fun. So I appreciate you being flexible.
But you're in LA. Is that where you're from originally?
Well, I actually live about an hour and a half out of LA. So
Okay.
I commute to Culver City, which is right in LA. LA is a big place. LA, there's Hollywood, there's Culver City, there's Santa Monica, there's downtown LA. They call it LA, but there's all kinds of little communities within LA. And so, yeah, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes, 70 miles outside of LA.
That's quite the commute.
But I commute to work, which is about, an hour and 15 minutes each way with no traffic. And I even go down there with the LA Roadrunners when I train with them on Saturdays.
I don't believe no LA traffic is a thing. Like LA is known for its traffic.
Oh, it's the worst, Eric. It's like give you an idea. See, I work at 5:15 tomorrow morning. I have to leave at 3:30. And if you leave anywhere past 6, so that'll take me an hour and 10 minutes to get there. If I left at 7, it would take me 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
That's like an episode and a half of our podcast that you can listen to on the way.
It's
But
pretty much.
That's how he's listened to all 100 plus episodes this year.
Right.
He's like gone back to the beginning. I mean, plenty. We're long form
Here
content.
now, yeah.
You are, and it's good for podcasts. It's great for the commuter like
I'm
me.
glad you're not sick of us yet.
So is LA? Well, not LA, but is California where you grew up then?
Yeah, I grew up here in the Antelope Valley where I live. This is a little desert community. Like I said, an hour and a half from LA. It's known very much for its aerospace industry.
Oh.
It has Edwards Air Force Base out here, Lockheed. So where most of the fighter jets you see are made here.
I'm intrigued.
They're currently above me right now, flying above my hotel pretty much all week. It's been kind of cool. I'm like, oh, there's Maverick and Goose. We actually had a fighter pilot. We're recording from my Tucson hotel. We had a fighter pilot here yesterday as one of the guest speakers. Tammy Bartlett. She was pretty cool. Had a great speech. So, and she's now a follower of the pod.
No way.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
you see an Instagram follower also, because that's important.
That's right.
And
bumping
then
those
YouTube,
numbers up.
And then the page. No, I'm just kidding.
So speaking of work, I know I hate to bring this up. Work, is it true, Erica? You work at a sperm bank?
No, it's not freaking true. Okay.
Oh, I heard that on the last pod, and I go, what? My ears perked up.
No.
Well,
no.
can
Let him, all right,
you
fine.
need to explain. You're a scientist type of person, and you have to deal with samples that need to be frozen. And one day I was just like, oh, you work at a sperm bank.
I mean, I do.
And I said, she goes, I was like, no, seriously, I thought you did. Now I'm playing with her. And I said, Brandon told me.
You're full of shit. I absolutely do not work for a sperm bank. Not that I have anything against people who do, but that's just not me. I work for a biotech company in New Hampshire, and we're just like
that deals with semen.
No, we don't deal with semen. I mean, occasionally we'll have to do samples.
Occasionally they deal with
literally
semen.
It would be like urine samples. So that's like, I haven't had to do that in years. It's been a long time. But
so there could be a trace.
If a client needs something,
oh
God, I'm done with you.
I'm actually kind of disappointed. I had like 1,000 questions for you.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer sperm bank questions, but he loves to razz on me just because I work in a lab, and every once in a while I'll get bored and I'll send him a picture. Like I have to wear like a hairnet. It's like a GMP facility, so it's like
a body condom.
I have to wear a face mask, a lab coat, the gloves, and everything. But yeah, he just takes it. And
have you ever watched like all of ER? Are you an ER fan at all?
Nah.
So I loved ER, and there's this one episode with this doctor. It's towards some of the final seasons, and he's a short redhead doctor with freckles and everything. And all of a sudden, like these 6 kids all walk in looking for him, and they all look like them. And they go, are you Dr. Anthony Bailey? And he goes, yes, I am. And he goes, did you ever donate semen between the months of, February and March of 1994? And he goes, oh, yeah, all the time. I made like $100. And then he realizes they're all his kids.
Oh, wow.
Because they had a special look, the redhead with the freckles. And he's like, oh, guys, these are my kids. And then the kids were like, screw you, you're a loser.
Oh, wow.
This episode took a left turn.
It really did, yeah.
It really did. Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness.
Well, hey, tell us about you and tell us about life growing up in California. You kind of told me earlier when I said, hey, are you Anthony or are you Tony? And you go, no, Tony was my past life.
Yes. Well, I grew up here in Antelope Valley, and unfortunately, my parents were, I hate to make the tone sad here, but I grew up in a household with alcoholism, drug abuse, lots of physical and mental abuse. And it was, it was a tough way to grow up. And I watched my mom and my dad just, it's crazy. My stepdad used to work on the base, and then the drug addiction got to him, and eventually, he used to think that there were Russians in the attic. There were people watching him. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on as a little kid. And one time I had to watch him dig a grave in the backyard for my mother. All kinds of craziness. Just things I would never wish upon any child. And so when I grew up, I got out of there as quick as I can, got my first job at McDonald's, moved out as fast as I could. And I swore to myself I would never drink any alcohol because I used to watch my mother do it, and it was just awful.
How
Well,
old were you when you grew up and moved out?
I was like 18. I
Okay.
was still in school, actually. I was like, get me out of here. Once I got my first, I used to knock on doors, pulling weeds because they didn't provide my clothes for me. I'd put my own clothes, my own food, my own shoes. So I did
You were on your
pretty much
own for
knock on
more, like
doors.
before you
Oh
even moved
yeah,
out. Oh man.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
rough, but I think it made me stronger. I mean, many people say that, but I think it did.
Absolutely.
And when I moved out, I told myself I'd never drink again. I'd never ever drink. And then what happened? 21 hit. I went to a party. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, just have a shot," and that shot just turned into 14 years of alcoholism.
Wow.
And next thing I knew, I'm 35, and I wake up and I go, "Shit, I haven't done a damn thing with my life." I mean, I had a job and I had my own apartment and a car, more than I thought I'd ever have growing up. But it's like, geez, 14 years just flew by in a bottle, just partying. And not that I didn't have some good times during those years, but yeah, it was a real wake up call. And it just, we can go on further. But yeah, that's pretty much my childhood, in a
So
nutshell.
you went from like basically your childhood trying to survive throughout all your younger years and teenage years, and then straight into, you're on your own, but eventually 14 years of alcoholism. So you never really got to have a childhood, I guess. You never got to did you get to play sports? Did you get to be involved in school, or you just always every day get through the day and do what you got to do?
Oh no, school was a refuge for me, because first of all, I can go to get a meal, because a lot of times we didn't have, my parents were on welfare, and when they get the check, they blow it on drugs or alcohol. But no, in high school, I discovered marching. I was actually going to drop out of high school in my freshman year because I was so shy and withdrawn, and I was so scared to go there. And I'd have holes in my shoes and just looked like a mess. And I was like, "Oh, I'm dropping out of school." And my buddy goes, "No, just try marching band." I go, "Okay." So I went to a thing and I discovered the drums, and I joined marching band for the next 4 years, and I freaking loved it.
Awesome.
And it was kind of like my art outlet from my home life, and I think it kind of led in. I've always been kind of an artistic person. I used to draw as a kid, and then music was my high school life, and then now it's YouTube and content creation. So it's weird how the things all match up together or line up.
But I'm glad everything worked out.
Still a work in progress.
Well, aren't we
We
all?
all are.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, not many people that go through trauma, you're pretty much stunted in alcoholism. Like I started, I mean, I didn't really fully form, I don't mentally like I should have. So this things my wife still tells me like, no, that's not correct, or no, you should be doing this or that, or she's my voice of reason. But there's still parts of my life that I'm. It's not a day that goes by but I don't think about the abuse in my house or having flashbacks or the trauma I went through, or so it's still 47 years. It still affects me today.
That is hard to get over, though. Yeah, it's just it always sticks with you, and you can do therapy and try to work through it, but it never leaves you for real.
No, unfortunately, many people
Yeah.
don't get a lot of the mental illness you see on the street or drug addiction is from trauma. And so I feel very fortunate that I was able to get out of it. So,
Did you have brothers, sisters, friends from school that you would maybe go to get away, or brothers and sisters that you could talk to and stuff, or were they going through the same thing?
well, actually, my older sister, she went down the path of drug addiction, and now she has schizophrenia, and she's pretty much been on the county for her whole life. Um, but she's born kind of in a bad situation. She had the effects of the drug abuse from birth. My little sister, she was my half sister, and she's okay. She lives here in the town, but I talked to her. She's doing okay, yeah. But anyways, growing up, I depended on parents and friends to I'd actually look at them and go, "Oh my gosh, they have such a perfect life." But then I found out years later they're going through their own stuff too. But from the outside looking in, I thought, "Oh my gosh, if I could just have a life like that, brand new shoes or have a haircut from time to time, So
Yeah.
everybody has their own. I did depend on friends and neighbors to kind of help me through it.
It's hard to look at other families too, because they may look all shiny on the outside, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. It's unfortunate.
One shot takes you down a 14-year road of drinking.
It was a start.
It was the start.
Yeah.
You woke up at 35. What did you do to get past that?
Oh gosh. Well, to go back to the shot thing, I think it's very important to tell. Like once I took, like I told you, I was very shy, very withdrawn. very emotionally stunted. I took that shot, like, oh my gosh, I feel like all those feelings went away of like being shy, it
Mm.
turned me into like, wow, this is me. I could be outgoing. I
Oh,
could
the
go talk
liquid
to somebody. I can
courage.
go,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. I loved it. It was just, and I said, why didn't I discover this earlier? But yeah, 14 years of going to clubs and going to dingy bars and being wasted and having hangovers every day and having to wake up and apologize to people for this or that or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, 35, I don't know. I think even I think I've always had this little voice. I like to tell people you have this little voice that keeps nagging you. And I'm like, shut up, little voice. Shut up. like
I'm
you're better
over
than
this.
this kind of thing. You're better than this.
Yep.
And finally I just said, you know what? God, it's been 14 years. I've been done nothing. And it wasn't overnight that I quit. It was just like, well, let me start going to the gym a little more. Let me start going to church. I'm not a religious person, but I wanted just some positivity.
Yeah.
Because the people I hung out with were all just self-deprecating, always made fun of each other. There's nothing but negativity.
Yeah.
So let me go to church, get some positive energy in me. Let me listen to some speeches and stuff like that, and eventually it just kind of kicked in. And then when I met my wife, she was the final push. I mean, she was the one, because I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna get serious about this dating thing, and I found her. And when I met her, I was still kind of smoking and drinking because I smoked cigarettes back then. And she goes, I don't care if you do it, just don't do it in front of me. But then 6 months went by and she says, well, I'm in love with you now. So it's either me or that. What are you going to do?
Ooh, okay.
And
The
that was
ultimatum.
her ultimatum was the final push.
Okay.
But it's funny with her, I've had many do that to me. And I'm like, oh, go pound sand. I don't care. But with her, it was different.
Okay.
It was like, there was something special about her. And I'm like, okay. And it was tough. I mean, it was hard, Eric. Oh my gosh. He was like, I couldn't listen to 80s music again because I loved 80s music. And I'd always attach that to like drinking and smoking and all the things I learned, I had to kind of let go of. But yeah, without her, I wouldn't have, I don't think I'd still probably be sitting in that same little apartment getting drunk every night.
What's her name and how did you meet her?
It's my darling Jen. If you ever watch my YouTube videos, you'll see her on there. She's an amazing woman. I always get emotional talking about her. She's just a great person.
She's your rock.
No, she's my, but you see behind me, you can see it's a little stuff behind me. Oh, you can't see it.
I could see the Bailey's established 2017.
Yeah, I got married in 2000, met in 2012, got married in 2017.
Beautiful.
But meeting her, I started getting more confidence in me. Like, okay, let me go to the gym. I started doing more in the gym I thought I'd ever do. Mm-hmm. And then I said, okay, let me apply for the police department.
Ooh.
Because I thought, okay, if I can be a police officer, I could kind of help people that are going through the stuff I was going through as a child. And I went through the whole process. I was gung-ho about the police department. Really wanted to help. And 9 months into the process, LAPD, I was so close. And LAPD said, thanks, but no thanks.
They made you go through 9 months of like training, whatever. And they said no.
Backgrounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, at the time I was 35, so I had a long background for him to go through. But I used to go to this thing on the Saturdays called CAFS, which is like a training academy for people going to the police department. And I used to run my butt off because I was going against these young kids. And I'm like, I'm not going to let these kids beat me. So I'm just running. And when they said no, a friend of mine said, why don't you do a marathon? And I go, a marathon? That's like for elite athletes. I'm not doing a marathon. Well, I looked into it and I go, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I signed up for the 2017 LA Marathon. And my whole goal was just to run the whole thing. And that's what I did. And I felt like when I crossed that finish line, I'm like, if I can do this, oh my gosh, I could do anything. And that was the start of my marathon journey. I remember about 5 minutes later, a friend of mine said, would you ever do it again? I said, hell no. It was awful, painful, worst thing ever. But then 2 weeks later, the pain wore off and I'm like, okay. And now it's this Sunday, I'll be doing my 12th marathon.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on a second.
A lot to unpack there.
Somebody goes,
yeah,
you should run a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever run before?
No.
You didn't even go 5K. You didn't even do coach to 5K. You just went straight to marathon.
I might have did little fun 5Ks, but nothing serious. I never put any serious training into anything. I just trained for the academy. That's the only thing I was training for.
How long did you have to train for this marathon?
Probably a few months. But like I said, I was putting in miles before that, but I never put in long miles, like 16, 17 miles. I didn't know anything about hydration or fueling or anything. I remember one time my wife said, do you have enough water? I'm like, yeah, I got enough water. And like 2 hours later, I had to call her. Can you come pick me up? I don't have enough water. So,
Right.
yeah. So the most miles I ran was 16 before that first marathon. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was tough.
That's pretty incredible, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
so you never really ran before the police academy. And
Oh,
then,
no.
so this happened. He plants a seed. I mean, how did you go about learning what to do to train for the marathon? Did you just Google it, or did you kind of seek out a friend who might have known how to do
No.
it? So the friend who planted the seed didn't even know? He didn't run with
He
you?
was an older guy. Yeah, I used to be part of this group called Toastmasters.
Okay.
He's a public speaking group. And I joined that to kind of get ready for the police department also.
Mm.
And but he was an older guy. He hasn't done them in years. And he goes, "Oh, you should do a marathon." You know, it's like just put the little thing in my ear. Like,
Gotcha.
oh, okay. And so yeah, all I knew was I just got back up the miles. That's all I knew.
So how did the training go for you? And then we can go into how your first marathon actually went. You said you ran the whole thing though, so that's
I
actually
ran the
better
whole
than
thing, but I was
could
doing a
say.
lot of strength.
He ran the whole thing, but he said he would never do it again. It was
No.
awful.
It was the worst. Yeah, I
Oh.
never experienced any kind of pain in my life.
Mhm.
But but at the time, I did a lot of strength work. So I think strength work played a big part in it. I did it in like 4:32,
That's great.
and yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get back to that time.
So this was a LA marathon, you said, that you ran for the first time?
Yeah, it was back then. It was Dodger Stadium to Santa Monica Beach.
Okay.
It used to be called Stadium to the Sea, and since then they changed the course. But yeah, it was interesting.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it went? Like, how was your race day? Like, if this was your first ever real race,
Mhm.
what did you think of the running community? How was everybody, like, how was the vibe when you got there on race morning? Were you excited?
Oh.
Were you nervous?
Intimidating. Very.
Have you-
I remember getting on the bus because you have to take a bus from Union Station to the start line, and I'm just sitting there in the dark by myself, scared out of my
You
mind.
didn't try
like,
to
what the
talk
heck?
to anybody, kind of?
No. Good Lord, no. I didn't know anybody. I knew nothing. Like now, it's like I go a mile and I run into everybody. I just adapted the running community now, but I didn't know nobody. I had to wait till like mile 16 because my wife was waiting for me there.
Oh, well, at least
Yeah, so that's
you
what I was
had
waiting
her
for.
supporting you,
Mhm.
so that's great.
Oh yeah, and then she got to the end, which was a nightmare back then, getting to Santa Monica from.
I believe it.
But
She
yeah,
would have had to run
so
herself.
yeah,
I'm gonna meet you at the end.
mhm. Yeah, but there was no talking. There's no community. It was just me and my mind and trying to get through it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, that can be a tough thing trying to jump right into, like, so that must have been so out of your comfort zone, and just like it's hard to make friends, but you guys have that common bond now. You guys are running a marathon together, so there's always
mhm.
somebody who will usually come up to you and just be like, "How you doing? Like, are you nervous?" Like that's usually
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
question.
it's a whole
but
different vibe, whole
I'm
different
glad
scene
that it has
now. But yeah,
changed
back
now.
then, yeah.
Yeah, me too. So,
Mhm.
what was like the break into your running community then? Because you seem to be super involved in it
Mhm.
now. How do you find the community in LA?
I think. Well, first, I didn't know that there was actually a running community on Instagram until like a few weeks after that marathon. I'm like, what the heck? What are all these running pages? What is this? And I started following people and following their journeys. And some of the same people I used to be starstruck by are actually people I have phone numbers on my phone and hang out with on a regular basis now. But yeah, the running community on Instagram is just amazing. And then the next year, I did the next LA marathon, and I decided to do it for charity. So I started I did it for a fundraiser, and so that kind of got me out there a little bit more. And then, or a few years later, I joined LA Roadrunners, which I wish I would have done my first year. I learned more in the first few weeks of LA Roadrunners than I've learned anywhere before that. You know, I got a whole community teaching me how to do things now.
Mhm.
But that was always intimidating. I'm not going to go to a running club. Oh my God, all these fast runners, but completely different than what I imagined.
That's always a problem with like joining a new group. You're like, is somebody going to run my speed? Am I going to have somebody to run with, or am I going to be alone? So I'm glad that it worked out, that you found your people, because you seem very
Yeah,
popular.
yeah. Thank you. I love LA road running scene. It's just amazing.
Excellent.
Now, you said your wife was like at mile 16, but does your wife run with you as well?
She doesn't run with me. We are on our different journeys, but she runs now. She actually started. She did her first 2 marathons at about 250 pounds. She was like, she got there when everything was tore down, but she still did it.
Oh, absolutely. That's
And then
great. Go Jen.
Yeah, she's amazing. But then she got, she kept battling weight her whole life, and then eventually she got gastric sleeve surgery, and now she's like 130, 140 pounds, and 2 years ago she ran her first marathon and got there before everything was tore down. So she's on her own journey too, but she is just a very inspiring woman. She says she's going to get to Boston before me, which is, I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
You guys just need to get there together. That's all that counts.
Oh, it's a competition, Erica.
Oh,
We can't have that happen. No, I'm kidding.
I don't wanna
Nothing
hear
wrong with a
that.
little healthy competition.
Well, I mean, you can push each other to be your best selves, but just don't
Yeah.
compete against each other. No.
No, I see.
Aren't the two of you involved in like a running club Tuesday nights? Do you organize it, or are you just a part of it? Like, there was a thing about Tuesday nights
Well,
that
that's a
you
whole
do
different
every
topic,
Tuesday,
yeah.
right?
We started after the 2018 fundraiser that I did. We did it again, and we built a team, and I've been fundraising for LA Marathon ever since. And we thought, hey, we like this fundraising thing. Let's start a nonprofit. So we started the nonprofit Run for Grace, where we basically help those in need through running. We build teams to run events, or I do an event like I did a few 4x4x48s for a nonprofit out here. So it's just my way of kind of raising money through my passion for running. But at one point during that nonprofit journey, we decided to start a running club and help the community by having a running club out here. So we meet every Tuesday night at a place called Lucky Luke, which is a brewery. And yeah, so it's just tonight, 7 p.m. We have it's actually been growing these past few weeks, which has been nice. So I think the running boom is really taken to the Antelope Valley.
I just looked at my clock. I'm like, it's 6:57. You're gonna miss it, but I forget that you guys are not on the East Coast right now, so it's just me.
Yeah.
So it says it's an affiliate club of the LA Roadrunners. How do you become an affiliate club of the LA Roadrunners?
And that's actually how our running club started. Because we used to be we have a cheer booth on the course of the LA Marathon, mile 20. We have people from the community, volunteers, and so when you get kind of connected with the LA Marathon, they kind of reached out to us and say, hey, we're starting this affiliate program. We want to get more eyeballs on the LA Roadrunners, and you guys in the Antelope Valley, would you guys mind being an affiliate? And they're like, what time does your running club start? And we're like, it starts on 7 p.m. on Saturday or whatever. We didn't have a club back then, but we just said it just to oh yeah, it starts this day.
Okay.
We weren't going to pass that opportunity up. So yeah, so we help promote the LA Roadrunners from afar.
It's cool.
That's really cool. And you and your wife Jen both you kind of run the program. You run the club.
We are both the club leads, yeah, and we're both glad to say we both got accepted as LA Marathon ambassadors again this year. So we're both on the team. This is my 4th year. This is her 3rd year. So we're both very involved in the LA running community and LA Marathon. It just brought so much joy to us. So we just want to spread the love to everybody else.
So I guess I don't need to ask you what your favorite marathon is, because I'm assuming it's going to be LA. But
it's always going to be LA. Yeah.
Did you said you did 12 of them so far?
I've done 12 marathons.
What other
this
ones
will be my
have you
12th
done?
marathon. There's a Santa Clarita marathon, which is about 30 minutes away from our house.
Okay. Oh, so you've been sticking to really like the local California.
I haven't done any. Yeah, I haven't done any majors yet.
That's okay.
I'm working my way up to them, but I want to do Chicago.
He's earning it, Erica.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, you got to earn it.
Yeah,
he's earning it.
Definitely earning
it. Don't get back to that conversation you guys had a few weeks ago.
He's very passionate about that. So
I kind of agree. I'm the same way. I think you really have to earn to get into these races. I mean, I can see how fundraising is helping also, but.
I would say you like if you got into Boston this year, I would say you've earned it in a way. You've run 12 marathons, which I don't think you have to run a marathon to earn it, right? But you're involved in the community. You do a run club. You're an ambassador.
Yeah.
You fundraise. You do so many things than just I want to run in the marathon on social media and eventually you get a bib.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't agree with that also. Yeah. But I understand it is a business and they need to get eyeballs on these. And plus these people that are giving these bibs out, it's like they already have they're giving these bibs, so it's not like they're missing out on any. Because like ASICs, they probably get like 20 bibs here.
Right.
Use these 20 bibs however you want. So
makes sense.
Who knows? It's a different conversation for another time.
Don't rile him up. He's going to go off on it again.
Well, I'm just adding some notes here. At the end, we're going to talk all about. No, I'm kidding. What was so you've done 12. How many of those 12 have been LA marathons?
Well, this would be my 12th coming up Sunday, but I think 9 of them were LA.
That's awesome.
I've done every one since 2017. let me see, 17, 18, 19, 20,
We got a
21,
streaker.
22, 24. So yeah, so maybe it's 11 marathons, 11 or 12, something like that.
That's still
So,
a
yeah,
nice number.
When is the LA Marathon typically? Isn't it March or
It's
is
every
it
March. Yeah.
every March?
About a month
How's
before
the
Boston.
weather?
Last year was super hot.
I think Rachel ran it
but
last year. She went
it gets
she went out
warm.
at one point. I forget which one. It must have been last year
Yeah.
or 2 years ago.
It gets pretty warm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a big like Erica did the Boston when it was super rainy and storm, and then this year Boston was super hot? What's been one of say the hardest LA marathons not being your first marathon?
The hardest one? Geez, probably this last year because I was looking so forward to it. And I thought I trained so hard for it. And 16, I ended up bonking.
Oh no. Did you finish or did you have to drop?
I finished.
okay.
Yeah, I finished. I just want to keep running,
Yeah.
but I had to stop.
It
But
happens.
yeah, no, it's a difficult course. If those don't know LA, it's very hilly.
I don't actually
it
know
is
LA, so this is
yes,
this is some good
it is
intel.
It's probably one of the harder courses. If you're going to qualify for Boston, it's one of the harder courses. People always say, do not try to qualify for Boston or LA because it's so hard.
I know
A lot of
people use
hills.
CIM for qualifying because that's a fast course, isn't it? I
Yeah.
have not run either. I
Yeah.
need to get back out to California. I've done Big Sur a couple of times, which is also not an easy course, but it's beautiful.
You got to come to LA. I mean, and this year is extra special because it's the 40th running of the LA Marathon.
That is true. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll make a trip.
If she doesn't make the trip, Anthony, I know when she will be there. 2028 for the Olympics,
Yeah.
and
You
she's
wanna
looking
go
for
so
a place to stay. Do you have a spare bedroom for her and Tara
We
Pterodactyl?
want to go.
I don't
so
know if she
bad.
wants to travel an hour and a half away from LA to stay at
I
our
feel like
place.
that's the only
It
way
might
we're
be
going to be able
closer.
to afford it.
It might be worth it compared to the hotel prices.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so amazing. But I'm always thinking that the marathon is going to be in the middle of summertime.
You
Because
know,
it's the Olympics
yeah.
in the summer. Can you imagine? And that's going to be like
Well, I mean,
90 degrees.
just this past year out in Paris, it was super hot for the athletes. So maybe that's just a trend. They're like, hey, see what you really got. What kind of grit do you have to beat
Exactly.
this?
It's called the Summer Olympics, and
No,
none of
I
these
know.
sports are supposed to be
I
easy.
know that.
This is hard.
I know, you're
Let's
proving
not
your
be
grit.
like, oh, let's do it in 70 degrees
Mhm.
and move the marathon somewhere else. Make it like anchored down, hot and humid.
Well, that
Then
is
we
the
can
way.
really know who the best marathon runner
Right.
is.
I agree.
But what they do though, it is weird. They don't hold it first thing in the morning. They do it like mid-afternoon, evening time when it's already hot.
Because
and
it's supposed to
humid.
be hard.
But I mean, you got to make sure that your athletes aren't going to go passing out, like because a lot of them will push past their.
They are
their limits.
world-class elite athletes.
But they have limits.
This
too.
isn't you or me.
No, I know, but they have limits too. So just saying,
I'm-
they don't make it easy for you.
I'm sure by the time it comes around, the way your podcast is going, you guys are going to be invited and have like
Wouldn't that
immediate
be
passes
cool?
and everything.
Yeah.
That would be
cool.
cool,
One
but
can
I
dream.
think we need another 100,000 downloads
one
per
one
week.
can dream for sure.
Maybe 30, 36, maybe
30, 36.
I don't think so.
20.
We
I
be
don't
dead.
think
dude.
so.
What way am I living for?
We're gonna
another
live
1,000
forever,
years?
man.
But
That would be
Understand.
cool, Anthony. That would be so cool. It would be cool to be recognized like that. Even to go to something like just be invited to a race or to do a show. Yeah, that would be all cool.
Guarantee it's going to happen. Guarantee.
Well,
I
I
love
appreciate that.
your optimism. I'm gonna adapt it.
But as I like to say, this is not about us. It's about you. I want to hear more of your
This is
stories.
the Anthony show.
So what are some of your favorite running moments since you started running in 2017 when that guy goes, I think you should run a marathon, and you're just like, yeah, so you went couch to marathon. But within that time frame of 2017 to today, what are some of your favorite moments or most memorable moments? Maybe not favorite, but just memorable.
Well, of course, always seeing my wife at that cheer station was always special to me. Oh gosh, here's one for you. Okay, so we have two teenagers, and every now and then they'll come along with us back when they were younger. And we're doing the Rose Bowl half marathon, which is by Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena. And we were doing a fundraiser at the time, so we had a cheer booth on the course. And I'm getting ready to come see I'm almost here to see my family. I can't wait to see them. And I get by, and my teenage daughter goes, "Where's Ezra?" Ezra Weiss is a speaker for the show Miraculous. Have you heard of the show Miraculous? It's a cartoon on
No, I
Netflix
don't
or
think
something.
so.
No.
She was a big fan of him, but he was a friend of mine, and he's another marathon ambassador. But she wanted to see him, so instead of saying hello to me,
Ah,
the
I
father, the one
get
that
it.
saw this little girl grow up, she's screaming for this other guy, and ever since then, I've been bitter ever since. But that's a funny
Oh,
moment.
no.
But yeah, there's been many, so many different.
Did she ever
oh gosh,
find
like,
Ezra?
She has met him a few times now, but now she's older. She's 17. She, that
Little out of the-
come and passed. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But I
Oh,
gotta tell you,
that's
it broke my heart.
disappointing,
Eric, you got kids. It's like, oh, cheer me on. Like,
Mhm.
no, we see you every day. We're fine.
We're only running a half marathon. It's not a full marathon.
That seemed,
Uh-huh.
Dad, you've done more than that. Like, you're helping Ezra. You bringing Ezra to me. That's so cool. No, it is. You know what is neat though, and I have no clue who Ezra is, but
Mhm.
to try to compare, it'd be like your kids really wanting to see, their childhood favorite TV character, like Bluey or
Yeah.
like Minnie. Like I remember we're doing our first Disney character breakfast the first day we're at Disney,
Mm.
and just all of a sudden Tommy and Tyler are going crazy, and I don't even know what's going on. And they can see Pluto and Minnie from like outside the windows as they're about to come in soon. It's like, I want to go. And they're trying to get out of their stools. And I'm
Oh.
like, they just went crazy. Then I looked to my right and I'm like, oh, like when they saw them and they didn't even know where we were. That was the
Mhm.
best part. They were like 20 months. They had no clue where we were. But then when they saw them,
Oh my
they
gosh.
went nuts.
Adorable.
And that's so cool to see as a parent. So in a way, I could picture when your daughter loves this Ezra guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool moment if you're able to provide that for them.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fine. I'm still a little bitter about it, but oh well. What are you gonna do? No, there's been so
I'm
many.
like, hey,
yeah.
Dad paid all this money to get you to meet Minnie and Mickey. Where's my hug?
No, I think when you say favorite moments, it's hard to think of because there's been so many. It's like I think joining the LA Roadrunners and being part of that community is like, I like people will say to us, like my wife and I will drive down there to go there. Why do you guys come all the way down here to do this? I'm like, because you guys are family to us. We don't mind driving an hour and 20 minutes to come running with our family. And I think that pretty much puts the LA running scene in a nutshell. It's like a big
Aw.
family out here, and it's gotten so big. There's so many running clubs out here. I don't know what it's like where you guys live. There's like a running club every 5 feet, but in LA, they're everywhere.
We don't have quite as many, but they're here and we appreciate them. It is nice to get
like
together.
the boom is hit.
Mm.
Yeah, the running boom is hit out here, big time. And so there's not a night where there's a running club that you can go hang out at. But you
How
just
fun.
meet. So when you meet these people and then you're doing the marathon, you get like it's vastly different from my first one. They're not knowing anybody and just being in my own head. To now, I cannot go a mile without seeing someone or somebody tap me on the shoulder. I go, oh my god, I saw you on YouTube and thanks for your video and blah blah blah. And it's
Aw.
like that kind of stuff is like, wow, that's really cool. But that's it. I'm sorry, I don't have any
Well,
bigger stories for you.
well,
Eric,
you
but
kind of gave us a little segue there. Let's talk about your YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So you're
I love filming. I love content creation. I know, and I think this is something I got to talk to you about, Eric, you and Erica. And I know you keep trying to get her to post for you or give you videos.
content.
And I have the same
need
problem with my
content.
wife. Yeah, my wife is the same. My wife, okay, if this is bottom of the heap,
Mhm.
content creation is down here. It's like it's just not her thing. She does not, it's not. So, I mean, she does it. She's gotten better at it, but it's like,
It takes
she
time.
doesn't enjoy it. So I wonder, maybe that's the same thing with Erica.
That's me.
Maybe,
No.
you want her to do it, but she just doesn't. Maybe you have to find someone else that's like really enjoys doing it. And maybe find something in case, you're a science kind of, you like to read a lot.
do.
So maybe give her a job that involves a lot of reading, maybe research on guests or something. I don't know. And give you the cliff notes.
Not a bad idea. He's like, I
Mhm.
see.
I don't know.
I
I'm
keep
like,
saying,
I think I've done
I
that.
keep saying I need an intern, an unpaid intern to do my.
She
social
needs an
media.
intern to do her homework assignments that she doesn't do.
Okay.
But
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
if
get off
if
of
I
me, off of
didn't
you.
No,
like
no.
her, I wouldn't tease her for it, right, Erica?
Right.
I think she just, so we're recording this in advance, but
Mhm.
around the time we recorded this, she just had like the greatest week ever in her lifetime of the podcast with social media content. And I think when she sees the engagement that comes from it.
Mhm.
And if she just is consistent, she'll recognize like, holy cow, people are really following and they want to see in the moment,
I
live,
know.
like right then and there.
Mhm.
And I was getting messages like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next, or keep going. Brady was like, please keep posting. This is a great, cool story, because it was all from the storm to your race getting canceled
Mhm.
to you driving to Rockingham, you being late to the race, and then you're trying to just get the medal for 100K. I mean, it was just such a cool story, and people want to hear it now. And I think she's realizing that, but really she just needs to find whatever homework assignment she wants that she's like gets really into and is
Mhm.
passionate about. And it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I can't wait to do that, because like I can't wait to get up and do that, or I can't wait to listen to this, then email that guest and say thank you.
Mhm.
So once she finds what works for her, it's going to be amazing. And
Yeah.
what doesn't work from her, I'll handle until we make a ton of money and I can delegate to somebody else.
True.
It's my brainchild. That's the thing. So I'm just trying to think of things. It's my brainchild, as she
Well, you
always
have
calls
so much
it.
shit on your plate at this point, so I need to take something off of it.
I get it, man. I got so many things on my mind I want to do. It's like I want to
Right.
do this and this. It's just so much, and
You're only
sometimes
one
I get
person,
frustrated.
and
I
you can
can't.
only do
Yeah,
certain
but
things before you
sheesh.
run out
Well,
of time.
if you want to take something off my plate, we need to figure out what you want to take off my plate, because instead of I've never really tried to give you a job that I do. I've just tried to create jobs for you. So maybe we can find something I do that you can take over.
Mhm. We'll talk.
I like this,
We'll
Anthony.
talk.
This is good. This is good talk. You brought this up. We're having a discussion and other people are giving their inputs here. This is
Yeah.
good.
Give her something that she enjoys doing, and it won't be such a task for her.
Exactly. It's more of a fun project than a homework assignment.
Well,
that's how you got to.
well, I
he
want-
wants me to make
I
video.
want-
Ugh.
Well, I do want video content of your races.
Yes.
That's what
See,
I
the
do
hard
want. That
thing
is going to.
I actually do gather a lot of stuff, but most
I
of
get
my
it 2 weeks later.
exactly my stuff is not like I don't have service to post because I go out to these remote places to do these races, and so it's hard. Like it would be best to do it in the moment, which is why I was posting because I had service and I could. But it's just hard to go back to it after. And then I'm like, oh, so much time has passed at this point. Do people even care anymore? Blah, blah, blah. So that's what goes on in my head about all this stuff.
But he just wants the content. He doesn't care if you post. He just wants the content, right?
And I'll figure out how to post it.
Yeah.
So why don't you just invest in a GoPro? Get yourself a GoPro, and you could just plug it in at night, connect it to your Wi-Fi, and it goes all the way up to the cloud, and he could have the cloud, the footage.
I like
ready
this. I like this.
For.
We'll use some of that Patreon money to get you a GoPro, and you would just upload it for me. I love this. Oh, Anthony,
We're
thank
working
you
on
so
it.
much
We'll
for
work
jumping
on
on.
it.
What was, unless I missed it, unless I wasn't listening, what was the start of your YouTube and being just a content creator? What was the first, like, hey, I want to dabble in this. I want to learn how to edit a video or to make a video. And then what kind of videos are you making? Are you making more Casey Neistat vlog style things? Are you making like educational running videos or just videos of your races? What's the content you're bringing on your YouTube channel?
All of the above. I'm Casey Neistat. Oh my gosh, he is just an amazing filmmaker. But yeah, I love his style. I love the vlog style. I do every now and then do some like how-to stuff or shoe reviews and stuff like that. But I think my real thing is this vlog style stuff, and it's basically just me trying to help others through my journey. I mean, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but hey, if you learn anything from me, that's great. So I started this in 2020. It wasn't it was the pandemic, but that and I said, hey, I want to start making videos. I talked to my wife about it, and I go, if I make videos, I want to make sure that everybody's cool with it. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to and I want to be fully transparent with my life, because I think my running journey and my sobriety journey can help somebody out there. And as long as she gave me the green light, she said, let's go for it. And from there, I was off and running, and just I learned my own. I filmed my first video with my phone, edited on my phone. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Still learning as I go, but over time, you just keep adding things to your tool belt, and you learn as you go.
There you go.
And so now it's been a few years. I'm still trying to figure it out. Now I know. Now with my job being so demanding, I can't get out as much as I'd like to get out. But my editing, I mean, I look back at my old videos and I go, oh my gosh, it is complete garbage.
That's kind of like our old
compared to what I'm
podcast episode.
yeah. It's just, but at the time, you do the best you can at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. you don't know, you don't see that it's growing. You're not learning as fast as you think you are, but you are. I mean, Eric, when you look back a year from now, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, look how far we've come. And you're going to be thankful for it. Just keep at it. Just keep persistent. Stay.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah,
I need to
that's how you
keep
gotta do
at
it.
it. I'll keep at it.
It's hard for everybody. We got lives. We got things going on,
Mhm.
and then you get perfectionism going in your head, like, oh my
That's
gosh,
the hard part.
Oh my
yeah.
God, I'm
He
so
knows about that. Oh, that's his thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if people are listening, if you've noticed like a change in the quality because I've changed the way I've edited it a little bit and I became less picky, call it since the summertime, about the yums and about a few other things. And I'm wondering if people have caught on or if they're just like, they don't notice. Like, I still think it sounds great and everything, but I've been a little less picky, which saves me a little more time.
Mhm.
I still get rid of some awkward pauses or some things. There's still a lot of editing. Nothing is like unhinged or raw.
You know what would
Mhm.
save you a
Even
lot
if
of
we
time though? Not doing it twice. Because you say you edit it on 2 different platforms and you do a lot of work.
only on the rare occasion.
Okay.
Like sometimes I edit and like just everything I'm learning things and figuring it out. So yeah, I go back. Okay, so what around episode 30, right? I was like, wow, episode like our first 10 were awful. Then the teens were okay, and then the 20s we
Right.
really figured out. And episode 30 is perfect. And Erica's like, get Doozer. I'm like, no, we're not ready still.
What is
And then by the
Doozer?
time
Ryan
we
Van
were ready,
Doozer,
it was
yeah.
episode 50. Yeah, big YouTuber I love a lot, and
Okay.
he bikes everywhere around the world and he loves to run. He doesn't drive a car. So then we do Ryan Van Doo's around 50 because I really think we're good. And around that time, I'm like, wow, I'm glad we didn't do him at 30 because 30 wasn't good.
Mhm.
And then we get up to episode 100 with Catherine Switzer. And I go back one day and listen to the Doozer one because I edited the video for it. And I'm like, oh my God, we were awful.
See,
Couldn't have been that bad.
I don't think it was that bad. The Catherine was great. I think you guys sound fantastic.
Thank you.
The
No,
volume level is fantastic. There's some podcasts you listen to, the volume levels, like you got to turn it all the way to the top.
Oh my God. I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand how they screw that up. Like you can fix it in editing.
Oh.
Erica's microphone for the longest time was very low. I always bump it up. Like how is your podcast volume too low? How are your sounds volumes like? How is one guy perfect and
Maybe
the other
they
one like
didn't go to
super
YouTube University like you did to learn
Yeah.
all
University
this stuff.
YouTube? Yes, those things like those are the quality things I want to perfect. So like Tracy, she saw us and she's like, hey, I listened to a few episodes. You guys are awesome just because the sound quality is good. And I'm like, if you have a good sound quality,
Mhm.
people will stick around. If it sucks, they're going to leave.
Oh, definitely. There's been I've shut down just because the sound is awful.
Right. So let me actually ask you that question then. Being a YouTube creator, what are those like quality things you're looking for that you must have? Like your video needs to have it for it to be good quality, or else you don't want to put it out there for the world to see.
You mean for me myself?
Yes.
Oh gosh, this is hard because my people keep telling me you need to just simply don't be so perfect all the time, or don't try to be so perfect. Just get it out there. I need to have, I want to bring value to people.
Mhm.
The thing is, like, if this video is not bringing value to somebody, like, why does somebody just want to watch me do a race? I mean, okay, it's cool they see the race, they see that, but I want to bring something like my LA Marathon video this year. It shows the course and it kind of talks about my alcoholism and how you can overcome it, kind of thing. So that's my inner struggle. Even though my friends and hey, Anthony, just get something out. We don't care. Just get something out. But my thing is, I always want to bring value to people. I don't want to waste anybody's time. But when it comes to the sound needs to be good. I want now I've learned to film much better. I know I kind of know how to use my camera. Like you see my camera now. I know how to use this DSLR. And just learning as I go. But I look back at my first videos and go, there's no way. Like I have a video called "How to Qualify for Boston," or how long does it take to qualify for Boston? And lately it's kind of been getting a lot of views because of the whole Boston Marathon thing. And I said, let me watch this thing to see what it's like. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my God. There was no way in hell I would have released that now because the editing was so basic to me. But now my editing skills have gotten so much better. So my level, my standards have raised a little bit. But it's also kind of a bad thing because I don't put as much content because my quality is my level, my standards have raised.
I see.
But I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Well, higher standards means higher quality, but it does take longer to get there. So it's a give and take of what you're willing to sacrifice to either just put content out faster, or do you want to make people wait a little longer? So, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
personally appreciate the work that goes into, like, if you're more of a perfectionist. Like, I appreciate the work that people put in, especially like Eric. He does a wonderful
Mm-hmm.
job with what he does, but I know how time consuming it is. But if he just put out like crap, then
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think you can just see the value. It is totally visible, and I mean, I gotta give you guys credit. It's so well done.
Oh,
I
thank
get
you.
pressure sometimes, and Anthony, I wonder if you do, because you
Who
told
gives
me
you
that people are
pressure?
like, "Hey, just put it out there." Well, I'm going to give you an
Uh-huh.
example. Not
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but like on occasion, when we went to
Mhm.
Peloton and we recorded in the car, I got more than one message that said, "Drop the episode, drop it now," and I was like, "No, it's coming
Oh
out
my gosh.
Thursday.
Well, we have
They're
to
going to
stick to
hear
a
it
schedule too.
Thursday."
Like, we try to do that kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff. So
And I'm like, I need to edit it. No, it doesn't need any editing. Drop it now. And I was like, nope, it needs some editing. I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
make sure.
uh-huh.
And I did it like I told everyone it will be there Thursday. You know, build up the anticipation, do the teaser post, maybe do a teaser reel or a teaser audio
Mhm.
clip, and build up the anticipation. So when Thursday comes, or in most cases Tuesday, it's like, here it is. You know, people wake
Mm-hmm.
up in the morning and there's the new
Yeah.
episode. But yeah, I got that from a lot of the Peloton people. They just wanted to hear it now, hear it now.
It's so tough because you see other like content creators. Like one of my favorite is Kofuzi. I love that guy. Have you guys followed Kofuzi at all?
Yes, I
I
follow
know of
Kafuzi. I
him.
think he
Oh,
does a
oh
yeah,
my
I think he does
gosh,
a great job
he's
actually.
amazing.
Some
I
of
mean
it
I've
is
been
very long, but he does a great
yeah.
job.
I mean I followed him from when he like almost first started, and the the work that guy puts in and the quality of his stuff is so incredible. And he puts out stuff like almost every day, every other day.
Wow.
I'm like, how do you get the time to do this? But it's all about reps. The more reps you do, the better you get. It's all with anything. So reps and like you said, consistency.
Mhm.
So you turn this into a business, right? You have a at least
Yeah.
you an LLC or something, Your Best Life Media?
Yeah, when I left the bus company in 2022, I got burnt out. Wanted to try something new.
Mhm.
I was like, I can make videos for people, and so that's what I did. I started Your Best Life Media. So now I make videos for small businesses that need content,
That's
and
cool.
it's also the umbrella company for my YouTube channel and my wife's YouTube channel, and it's just the umbrella for. So it's kind of like that business
Sounds
thing.
like Monday
I'm
Night
turning this thing into
Media.
a business. Yeah,
Mhm.
and so. Yeah, I love it. I mean, the business was tough. It was hard to. It's hard to man. Being a business owner is harder than a marathon.
Oh, no
There's no
way.
way. It is tough. Yeah, but you know what? I gave it a shot, and not that I don't think it failed. It just I learned a lot,
Okay.
and so now it is still there. I'm still doing my like on Tuesdays. I'm still doing my client work. I'm still doing stuff like that. But
Awesome.
it's still there, and it's I learned so much from it. I mean, like I said, it gave me way more reps, like video editing and learning what works, what doesn't work, what I don't like, what I don't like.
A
So.
worthwhile experience.
Mm-hmm.
What would be like strategies you'd use to go out and find clients? Would they come to you? Would you go to them? Would
Oh
you
no,
advertise?
no, you got to go. You got to be in the community. I go to the chamber events. I'd reach out to old businesses that used to sponsor us. People I just grown communities with. Um, Send out, social media. You got to do social media a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, go to all the events you can. Get the word out. Tap people's shoulders and just try to get as much work as you can. Even if you do, maybe sometimes you got to do some free work. Sometimes you got to do work that you hardly charge for just to get the exposure or just get experience or to add to your portfolio. But yeah, so now the company it's going in a different direction than what I first thought it would go.
Mhm.
That's cool. I'm excited about it. Who knows? One of my buddies is saying, you need to just do running content. You need to just go film runners. And I go, yeah, if I had more than one day off, yeah, I might do
Right.
that. But you never know. I don't know. I'm excited to see what the future is of this company.
Excellent.
Well, you must have been reading my notes, because what was next was exactly that. What's next, Anthony?
Mm-hmm. Well, the nonprofit's a big one. Run for Grace is huge to us. I just love raising money for those in need, and if I could do it through my passion for running, that's even better. So
Excellent.
that's that. And the running club is every Tuesday nights, and we're having fun with that. We're growing that. It's amazing. These past few weeks have really been
How many
like, where are all
members
these
do you
people coming
have?
from? Now we're getting like 15 to 20 per meetup.
That's great.
When it used to be for like 2 years was just me and my wife.
You guys were
Me
the
and my
run.
wife.
But you
We were the
stuck with
club.
it,
We'd
dude.
have like
Wow.
we'd have a person show up every now and then, and he'd not come in. And then I don't know. It's just about being patient and persistent. And
It's playing the long game.
Mm-hmm.
Short game never works. You play the long
No.
game, you stick with it, you grow a community. It takes some time, but you play the long game. And Erica and I are still in the long game. But that's how success works for the majority of us. For the 99%, it's the long game. 1% short game. We're in
And
the
then-
99%.
And then they don't learn. If they do the short game, they get the instant success. They don't know how to handle that success.
Yeah.
And my wife is so good. She is so patient. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm like, Eric, I want to go. And she's like, nope, we're going to take our time. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to just, I'm like, we got to do this. Like, we don't got the time to do that. So
she has a YouTube channel too. Are you guys like bouncing things off each other? Does she edit as well? Or do you do all the editing?
No, she does zero editing.
She's like me.
The star on camera. Yeah.
She's
She
like
shows
Erica.
She shows up. She'll do the videos. I'll edit them. She does live streams. She tries to do them every Friday, but she just got a concussion from falling from the trail run.
No.
She's training for a trail run, her first ultra marathon.
Jen, you're gonna have to wear a helmet
Freaking trails,
now.
I'm telling you, the rocks and roots, everything is like a tripping hazard.
She fell in the parking lot.
Oh no.
Erica.
Oh, Jen. Oh.
She was going out of the parking lot. She tripped over a crack in the concrete because she looked back to see what somebody was saying to her.
Those damn
And
cracks
she
in
just
the
hit
concrete.
face first, but she saved her nails, which was a good thing.
Well, what about her face?
But she got she had a gash in her eye. She had to get stitches.
That's
I had
a
to
code
drive-
brown.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yeah. I had to
Jen.
drive down there, get out of the emergency room, but she had a concussion, and that concussion is still affecting. It's been 2 months. It's still
Oh
affecting her.
no.
She's not as she's foggy. She's getting better, but she's not the sharp Jen that she was before. But the concussions are serious.
I've heard those take a
Yeah.
long time to get over. Yeah. That's
But that's her.
so
She does.
awful.
She's VSG athlete on YouTube. VSG athlete. She shares her journey of weight loss surgery, and she's amazing. She has like a quarter of the videos I have, and she's grown faster than me because she's in a niche. She's in a specific niche. And people, oh gosh, she was one time at a LA marathon. She was at our cheer group, our cheer tent at the marathon, and somebody stopped in the middle of the marathon, came up to her and says, "Oh my gosh, you're that girl on that VSG athlete video. I share your videos to my class because she's a college, she's not a teacher, what's the word for it?
Professor.
A professor, and she shares her videos to her students. And she stopped in the middle of her marathon to say hello to Jen. So that's the power of YouTube. It is.
Oh.
I had someone come up to me at one expo and say, "I flew in from New York today because I saw your video last week."
No way.
I'm like, "What?"
That's so cool.
From YouTube. I'm like, I love YouTube. I cannot push it any harder.
Oh,
It's great.
Awesome. So people need to subscribe to ours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yours.
And I know when On the Run starts vlogging, I know who I'm going to for advice and tips and help.
Just have a search.
Erica's next homework assignment, start
search-based.
vlogging.
Go find search-based stuff because YouTube, there's videos I have now that I made when I first started are still getting views, all because SEO. People search these things and they find them.
So, one question I have is, I know doing all my podcasting research is a lot of people will podcast or YouTube, right? And they'll pay someone else to edit their podcast or their video. And it's pretty common where they actually pay someone on the other side of the world. So like in a Casey Neistat did all his, but he would YouTube all day and it would be out by 8 a.m. the next day. A lot of people do that, but they pay someone who lives in a different time zone. So they edit it during like their normal working hours. And then by the time that YouTuber wakes up, they have a new YouTube video edited in their email inbox.
It's amazing.
You ever think of like dabbling into that and doing that kind of work for others?
Maybe for others, I don't know. But myself, I love the editing process. I could sit there for hours and just edit, and like, oh my gosh, 5 hours went by. I could get lost in it. It's just it's like my therapy. I just love it. I hate when I have to go to work or I get interrupted or something like, but maybe who knows? Maybe one day. I can't imagine ever hiring anybody to do editing for my videos because I feel like it's just my special touch.
Right, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But you feel like you could really kick ass at their editing. I mean,
Maybe.
that's why I'm starting Monday Night Media.
Yeah, you
I
could.
feel like I can put together great podcast content.
yeah.
That's not my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like you could probably do the same thing for others. You could edit theirs. It doesn't need to be a vlog, but I mean, I guess you kind of tried to already get into making videos for others, but I'm saying like maybe someone from outside of LA would be like, hey, I make a video every Thursday and I would love for you to edit it so it could drop on Mondays.
Yeah, if I had the time that's what I learned. This is what I learned about this, Eric. I have to enjoy what I'm doing. If I get like I've had clients, I'm just like I cannot do this. This is not fun to me. I cannot. It's taking the fun out of it. So if it's a project that I see that isn't exciting and fun, yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. But I have to have my heart has to be into it.
You can't make it feel like a job because you already have a job. You don't need a second job.
Yeah.
100%. I think Erica and I said when this feels like a job, we won't do it anymore. And it's become a lot of work, but it's become very enjoyable work.
You guys, the fun really comes through on the radio. I was going to say on the speaker.
Well, speaking of that, we made it in one of your YouTube videos.
Oh yeah.
I think you told me about
I love your announcement. I love how you announce the things. I got to have that part of the YouTube video.
How fun.
He does a great job with like, I guess you call it B-roll or something. So he might start with like, hey, everybody, what's up? It's Tuesday. We're going to the run club. Come with me on the drive. And then he like turns the car on and then the radio's playing. It's like, what's up, everybody? And welcome to episode 45 of the On the Runs podcast. And we made it into his video.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
You.
Well, because you're a listener of the pod, you know what's coming next. You know about my Code Brown commandment list. So without me having to go through the whole spiel, tell us, what do you have to add to our Code Brown commandments for someone to avoid an oh crap moment? And it could be running, it could be YouTubing, it could be editing, it could be anything.
Oh, it's running, definitely.
All right, let's get it.
Don't miss bag check.
Is there a story behind this one?
Oh, yeah. So for one of our, like 2020, right? Days before the pandemic shut everything down. LA Marathon's going on. And for the first time, my wife and I had a hotel room miles from Dodger Stadium to start the LA Marathon. Normally we come from Lancaster, which is like an hour and a half drive to get down there. But we said, hey, we finally got a hotel room. Let's do it. The Uber driver did not know where he was going, was not expecting the traffic that comes with the marathon, got us there late. And we had our two bags. And we both had all of our clothes, our Vans in there, or change into. And we got there late. And I said, well, and I knew we have a cheer booth back then at mile 18. Now it's at mile 20, but back then it was at mile 18 or something. And I said, no, I'm sorry, mile 13.
Oh,
he was mile 13 back then. So I said, if I could just run 13 miles with these bags, and I could just drop them off to the volunteers. So I'm running 13 miles through the LA Marathon with these bags, and have you seen plastic bags? They rip, they get sweaty, they're slipping out of my hands.
Oh, no.
And oh gosh. But back then, this was way before I even joined LA Roadrunners and knew anything about hydration or anything. I figure, okay, in my head, I could drop it off and I could just take off because I won't have this extra weight on me. Well, if you know anything about glycogen, that's not the case.
Yep,
I dropped it off
on empty, huh?
I lasted about a mile and I said, that's it. I bonked and
no.
that was done. But it ended up being one of my most favorite marathons because that was the first race that I actually stopped looking at my watch and just enjoyed the scene.
Okay.
Stopped by cheer booths. I said, I'm just going to have this be a fun race. So that's how that happened. And I had a pickle. I got a massage gun on my leg.
Okay.
These things that never would happen if I was just looking at the clock and trying to race down the street.
There you go.
But yeah, it was a Code Brown commandment, but it had a good ending to it.
Good. I'm glad.
And thou shalt not miss bag check. I love it. Guys, I have breaking news.
I saw your face, so I'm intrigued. What's going on?
I know this is going to drop in November, and it is October 1st right now. But tomorrow at 09:30, I will be going on my first ever helicopter ride.
Cool. Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
I thought it was pod.
I was expecting something like I just got invited to Boston.
Right. I know that was that kind of face though. Oh my God. But no.
Your first
But
helicopter
that's
ride.
cool. Where's
Tomorrow,
it taking you?
chopper ride, Tucson Jet Center. It's a 20-minute helicopter ride. We got to be at the place by 09:30. Oh my God, this is so cool.
I'm glad I got Eric's full attention here.
So let me go into a
How
little bit of
rude,
detail
right?
here.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk about this on, maybe I'll edit this out and we talk about it in the tros, but I'm here for the big global sales meeting. We have some fancy cameras that go in helicopters. They're not based out of Boston. They're based out of Portland, Oregon. I'm like, hey, I want to go on a helicopter ride. It's freaking happening. We own a helicopter and a plane. I'm like, I don't want to go on the plane. I want to go on the helicopter. And we're like going to hover over the hotel and like use the camera and scan down, view people in IR and in whatever and watch their terrible golf game or whatever.
That's pretty
amazing.
fun.
Yeah, but
You
cool.
could just
That's
hover
my
over
exciting
the hotel,
news.
like the hotel's gonna let you do that.
Yeah, though that's where we're at this hotel because it's actually like 20 minutes outside the airport, so we're allowed to do that. The whole point of us being here is because we can fly drones, fly helicopters above the hotel.
Gotcha.
I mean, the helicopter's a few thousand feet, but we're showing the capabilities of these cameras.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's a big reason for this whole global sales meeting. So
Nice.
it's cool. It's the same camera, the running related here, that found the Boston Marathon bomber.
That's right.
Really?
Yes. So that's our camera,
Wow.
the one that goes on the helicopter. So I'll get to go in the helicopter tomorrow and operate the camera. I am psyched.
Happy
Well,
for
make sure you
Everyone
put
who's
content
listening
out
right
of-
now already
make-
knows this because I talked about it probably on the Tros back in October.
Well, make sure you make content about it. If you don't, Eric is going to be on you.
Aha!
Yes.
Oh, he
well,
will.
actually,
Is it confidential?
I can't. I can't.
Oh.
I mean, I might be able to take a video or a picture, but I can't like show you the screen or anything or the hand controller. I can just take some video from the helicopter looking down. Sure,
There
I'll
you
do
go.
The fun police.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the ones that would get me fired.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta get
Then
back
you really
on
have to have
track.
this podcast work.
Yes.
All right, Anthony, we have our awesome Spotify playlist, and I hope you listen. If you don't, check it out.
Mhm.
But
I don't have Spotify, but I've heard about it.
excellent. But we have
Okay.
this list, and we like to invite our guests to add one song to it, just one.
Oh, one. Okay. 'cause I
Thank
got
you,
two.
Erica.
Okay.
He really got on me for that the other day. So
Okay.
one song. Is there anything
Oh.
you'd like to add to the list?
I actually wrote down two songs, so I'll choose one.
Well, listen, I want to hear both songs, but she can only add one.
I will let you
Okay, yeah,
choose.
this-
which one
Maybe
it
we can
is,
debate the songs.
Okay.
I think you
Let's
should
debate
add,
them.
add the second one. But the first one is this is for if you're like at the end of a marathon, you just want to push it, or if you're on track night. Killing in the Name of by
That is a good
by
one.
Rage Against the
Mhm.
Machine.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's
a
the
good
other
one.
one?
Yeah. Now this one is special. This is not. I don't know if very many people know about this song, but we've all know who Rob Thomas is from Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
He has a song called Little Wonders, and it's actually
think
attached to a Disney or a Pixar movie or something.
way.
And it's a song about this. Hey, just yeah, the past was tough, but just let it go.
Oh.
Don't worry about the past. Just worry about now. Enjoy the moment. And it's like one of those like really slow. It's one of those songs that will get me through a long run. Just like and can remember, hey, I'm in the moment. Just enjoy it. Forget about all the crap that the past has. Let it go.
Oh.
So that's what that song's about. So Little Wonders by Rob
Well,
Thomas.
we're picking that one because that one's got the story behind it. But even though the other one is
That's
great too. So.
That's right. Nice job, Erica. Way to go. Thank you, Anthony, for sticking with one. And I think like if someone has to, we can hear both.
Then we'll
when
debate.
just one goes
That's good.
on. And we'll debate.
Perfect.
Which one should it be? But I like it. Great job, man. Great job.
I appreciate
Hey, tell
that.
us, where can everybody find you? You're all over the place. You have a website, you have social media, you have YouTube. Tell us, where can everyone find you? What should they do? So go subscribe and click that like button. Where and when and how?
Well, I'm always going to promote YouTube. It's my favorite platform. Running for My Best Life. Same thing on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. And I got the website, runningformybestlife.com. But I really want to head people over to the LA Marathon. If you want to participate in the LA Marathon, I got a discount code. Email me. They don't let us publicize these things because this is what I love about the ambassador program at the LA Marathon. They say you are not your discount code. We do not care how many times you use it. All we care about is that you're part of the community. That's all we care about. So we're not allowed to publicly put out these codes. But if you want a discount code for LA Marathon, which is the 40th anniversary, It's going to be epic.
40th
It's gonna
running.
be amazing.
40th running.
40th running. Oh my God,
I
you got me.
you.
Very good.
I got you. I
The
got your
40th.
back.
Yeah. The 40th running of the LA Marathon. There might be some surprises because remember the LA Marathon was actually
Maybe Snoop
inspired.
Dogg.
That would be awesome. It was inspired by the '84 Olympics. And that's said, hey, we need to get a marathon out here. And they started the year after. That's why it's the 40th running and not the 40th anniversary.
Gotcha.
But it's going to be an amazing day. And it's going to sell out. I'm guaranteed it's going to sell. It sold out last year. And so I'd love to have you guys anybody be part of it. Come out to LA. Enjoy those fun hills.
Talking to you, Pod
It's in
fam.
March.
It's in March. If you want to.
And Anthony has a spare bedroom for Erica.
I got a couch. I got a
That
couch
works.
you can use. But thank you for having me, guys. Thank you for letting me share my story. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for
Absolutely,
the entertainment, for
man.
helping
This
me
is
through my
so
long
cool.
runs.
I'm so happy we connected like almost a year ago, and you reached out. And
Finally
originally, I
happened.
thought, yeah,
Mhm.
and originally I thought you met us through a episode of another LA runner we had at the time, Abby Bandai, and you told me how you really found us was just the algorithm. And
Yeah.
that made me so excited to hear because it's working.
It's working.
Yes.
You guys are doing your thing. I could see that it's going to be amazing. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
already amazing, but keep at it. You guys are over like 150 episodes or something, 140.
Close.
Well, if you count everything, we are
true.
over 150
Yeah.
because we've done like the OTR lives, we've done the extended outro sometimes, but episode numbers are we're in the 130s now. That's where we are with you, Anthony.
You're still a baby. You guys are, on the runs are still
Yes.
a baby.
Yes.
Don't overthink it. Just do your thing and keep at it. You're doing amazing.
Consistency. Love
Yeah.
it. Every Tuesday, baby.
That's what
Monday Night Media.
It drops every Tuesday. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So people know, like, okay, every Tuesday it pops in there. I can't do Mondays because the weekends are too busy. And then Sunday night comes around and I'm like, I got to edit and I got to get it done. Nope. So we're Monday night. We record on Mondays. I edit on Mondays.
See, you're
It's
human.
perfect.
You're not a machine.
Mhm.
You can't do
And
it
with his
all.
children, you have like 5 kids you're chasing around. What is that?
3, but the
3
twins
kids.
Like
probably
5.
count as like 4. So,
Amazing.
so
You're doing-
5
you guys
adds
are
up
doing-
there if the twins each count as 2.
That is no joke. And really embrace these years because we got teenagers and it is a whole different ball game, buddy. So
Yeah.
enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. So these long extended work trips only happen about once every other year. The rest of them are like only 2-nighters. So this one's 9.
Oh
Holy
my
cow.
gosh.
Well, 8 nights. 8 nights. So, yep. And as long as I don't get, killed by a wild pig, I'll be good.
What?
Yeah, that's a
wild
story.
pig.
That's a story. You'll hear it if you listen to
Okay.
the outro on Thursday.
Mm.
So in 2 days, listen to the extended outro because the episode that dropped today, October 1st, the first breast cancer episode of the month.
Okay.
We didn't have time to do the entire outro in time. So we did an extended outro. It drops Thursday. Check it out. And those happen on occasion when we just run out of time. So
A teaser. Look at that.
yeah, a teaser.
Love it.
Well, everyone listening knows about it, but maybe
me.
there'll be another
Teaser
one.
for me.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yes, teaser for you.
Mhm.
Well, Anthony, it was super fun. I'm super excited we connected. Like, thanks so much for being patient. I know I had to postpone. I know Erica had to postpone. I know you had the tough schedule and we worked around it and we became Tuesday Night Media tonight and we did it, well, normal time for us, but what I thought was earlier for you because you have to run to your run club right now.
Yeah, I got a couple hours, but I still got client work to do. So, yeah, but I'm gonna see you guys. I vow this. I'm gonna see you guys at Boston one day. I'm gonna run past your cheer booth.
I
and I'm
really
gonna stop
hope
and
so.
Take a
We
selfie.
would love to.
You
And I'm gonna qualify
Jen
for it. I'm
both.
gonna get that 3:15 qualifying time.
Go do it.
You and Jen
3:15.
both.
That would be great. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks so much. Thanks for welcome to the pod fam. That's going to be something I start
Yay.
saying too. Welcome to the pod fam, Anthony.
I'm honored
Thanks
to
so
be
much,
here.
guys. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. What a story from Anthony, from childhood to one shot to running and being involved in community and everything. That was wicked awesome. Anthony Bailey on the On the Runs podcast.